Hello, lovely people. My name is Alma. Welcome to the Almita Made channel. Welcome back if you've watched my previous vlogs, and welcome for the very first time. Thank you for finding me. I'm very excited to see you here. I am primarily a sewist, so I share a lot of my dressmaking here on the channel, but there's a few other things that every now and then poke their head in. So today I thought I would do a plans and works in progress video. So the last one, I'll link to it below, but you can see in my last vlog, I shared my most recent makes. So now I've done those, I'm thinking forward and I'm going to share with you the few plans that I've got. Other things will probably sneak in as well, but these are my firmest plans. Before we get into all that though, I want to share what I'm wearing today. This is a dress that I adore. I will put some pictures or a video up here or here. We'll see. We'll find out where there's space because this needs to be seen in its full length to be enjoyed. It's a maxi pippa dress patterned by Sew Over It, which I work for, so I am biased. I will say this every time, but I do love the Sew Over It patterns. I make them a lot and there's a bit of everything, so I obviously love to make them and love to wear them. This is the pippa dress, which has different versions within the pattern, but this one is with long sleeves, elasticated here, which is possibly my favorite kind of long sleeve because you get the coverage, but also you can do this and wash the dishes. Exciting. But I love a dramatic long sleeve and I hate getting it wet. Even just washing my hands, I hate getting them wet. So with this, you get the elegance of the long dramatic sleeve, but then yoink, perfect. And it has this asymmetrical front with faux buttons. I love that. I am better with buttonholes these days because I have a better sewing machine, my fast Passport 2.0 behind me. She's better at buttonholes, but before I had a lot of issues. So anything that didn't actually require buttonholes but still give you the buttons look, like this dress, is a very big winner for me. But yeah, this dress I love. I made it quite a while ago now. It must be at least a year, I think. I can't actually remember. But what I'm loving is this fabric, which is a viscose twill from Rainbow Fabrics. I doubt they'll still have it, but it's such a fun, I mean, I say fun, it's quite a dark print. So there we go. We've got cloaked figures, scary dogs, but the colors are just so good. And what I'm loving is that every time I wash it, it's fading a bit, which sounds like it's not a great thing, but I really like it for this print. It's starting to look like a vintage dress that I've picked up, thrifted somewhere, and I really like that. So in this particular case, I'm happy that it's fading. But yes, that's what I'm wearing today. And I would like to share some older makes with you every now and then. So I think this is a good way of chatting about older makes if I wear them in the vlogs and talk you through them a little bit. Because I do, obviously I love sharing new things, but I do think it's worth talking about how clothes that we make survive in our wardrobe and if they get worn and how they wash and all of that. I think it's interesting. I hope you do too. Anyway, now we're looking at the future. So what will I be making next? So to give you a bit of context, at the moment, we're at a point in proceedings where at Sew Over It, where I work, I have a lot to sew for work. So we have a photo shoot coming up for new patterns. We have new pattern releases coming soon. So there's a lot of sewing that I am doing that I cannot share with you and I won't be able to share with you for ages, which is a shame, but just know that it's all incredibly exciting stuff and I'm really enjoying sewing it. It's just not some things that I can talk about yet. So because I have those meaty projects for work going on at the moment, I don't want to get stuck in too much into something big for myself. But I also don't want to stop sewing because then I suddenly start feeling like sewing is just work and I don't want to feel like that. So what I decided to do is cut out a few smaller projects that I know are going to be smooth. There's no complicated fitting involved, things that I've made before, all of them, I think, yes. So that I've got those little projects ready to go if of an evening I feel like, you know, I've been sewing all day for work, but also I want to get in some extra sewing for myself. And I say for myself, a lot of these are gifts actually. But yes, so one thing I had talked about in my very first vlog, which was my Stitch Festival haul. And this is a piece of jersey. Reach for it. A piece of jersey that I just bought as a remnant from a stall. His name I can't remember, unfortunately, but it was at the Stitch Festival in London, and I saw this jersey and fell in love, of course. If you've seen previous vlogs, or if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I have a sausage dog that I adore. He's called Roy, and there he is. And he's just on the sofa chilling while I film. Very good boy. I'm sure he'll bark at some point. But yes, I have a sausage dog that I adore. I could not go buy this fabric and not buy it. So they only had a tiny remnant, definitely less than a meter. I can't remember how much exactly, but I thought I could at least make some underwear for my husband, Pat. Now, yes, sorry, I'll be talking about pants today. But basically, I've cut them out. This looked nothing like pants yet, but you can see some kind of leg. So this is a pattern I've made many times before for Pat, for jersey sort of tight boxers. And it's a really cool pattern that I found by searching the internet years ago. It's called the John Boxers by Patty Doo, who is an amazing German sewist. She does loads of patterns, loads of tutorials. And for this one particularly, you buy the pattern, as in the pattern pieces, but there's no instructions. You just watch a video. The video is in German, and I do not speak German, but you can watch it with subtitles and you can follow along. And it is very straightforward. They're all done on the overlocker. It comes together really quickly. It just has elastic at the top, which you can do hidden inside the fabric, which is my preferred version, or you can have you can buy a cool elastic that shows, like the Calvin Klein effect, if you know what I mean. And not for me, not for Pat either. So this, the version I make just ends up with a little bit folded down and the elastic in there. They are very straightforward. They're enjoyable to make. I really enjoy making them. And so I've cut that out, and that will happen fairly soon, I think. And because I was cutting this one out, I thought while I'm at it, I'm going to cut them in another fabric as well. Now this is, I've got a lot of this fabric left over from making some pajamas for my friend's baby, not a baby, a 1-year-old. I'll put a picture up if I can find it of the pajamas, which I made using some Sew Over It children's patterns, which are in the Poppy and Jazz children's range. So I used the mini Hebden t-shirt for the top, and then the Tangerine trousers for the bottom, sort of leggings type. Adorable. The parents of this particular child really like Star Wars, so I went with this baby Yoda fabric that I bought in Costa Rica. So Costa Rica is where my mum lives, where my parents are from, and I go once a year, and they have excellent printed jersey game. It's got polyester, so I don't use it that much for myself to make stuff, but it's great for making children's pajamas. They've got the funnest prints. Like this one, I've bought like a Pokemon one, I've bought a Simpsons one, like it's great. So I bought this last year on my trip to make pajamas for this particular friend's child, and they went down a storm. She keeps sending me pictures of him in the pajamas, and that really makes me happy. But anyway, I bought loads. I don't know why, how big I thought this child was, because I bought 2.5 meters and I still have loads. And Pat really liked the print, so I thought I would cut out another pair of John boxers to be made at the same time as the sausage dog ones. So if all goes to plan, Pat will have new pants very soon. Everybody's happy for Pat. Another project that I have not cut out, but I have firmed up plans for, basically. I just don't know when I'm going to get round to it, but hopefully soon. This fabric you will also recognize, hopefully, from my Stitch Festival haul. It's a cotton lawn. I believe it's a Liberty's remnant from Kia Fabrics, which I fell in love with at the Stitch Festival. Really beautiful, this one. And I was thinking of making a blouse. I think it will almost definitely become a Lilian blouse from Sew Over It. Again, sorry. But what I've decided since the last time I mentioned this fabric is that I'm going to add some very cool buttons, also from the Stitch Festival. So these are from Pigeon Wishes. And let's see, the light's reflecting, but they're very, they are very green and cool. I might put a picture up if that doesn't show, but there we are. And I thought, because this is so pretty and floral, which is not always what I go for, my style. I like things to have a bit of a twist. I mean, I am wearing like a cloaked figure with hounds today. So that gives you an idea of my style. So because this is so pretty, I thought putting those buttons on top might make it a little bit less prim and proper, basically. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love that style. I just don't think it suits me necessarily. I'd like to have something that's a little bit twisted. So these big green dark buttons, because there is dark green in the drawings, I think it will work. And to sort of marry everything together, and because I had some of this fabric, I thought that I might do some piping. So the Lilian blouse has a shawl collar, so I think it will be quite easy to insert the piping just in between the bodice and the facing, all around the bodice, the collar and the facing. Hopefully that's my plan anyway. If anyone's done a piped Lilian blouse, let me know. But I had this green, which you will have seen me use for my field bag, project bag in the last vlog. So it's just a dark green cotton poplin, and it's very close to the darkest green in the buttons. So I think I'm going to make some piping. I've got some kind of cord here. Oh, I don't know. It's going to be very narrow piping. But yes, that is my slightly more definite plan for this beautiful Liberty's fabric now. Yeah, there to remind you. So pretty. So hopefully that will be a blouse. I need to cut it out, but I do have the pattern already. It's ready to go. I've made it before, so it shouldn't be too long a process. I don't need to do any adjustments. So that one hopefully can happen fairly soon. So we've got 2 gifts, one for me. And then I think another plan that I can vaguely share with you, if I can reach, is that this beautiful fabric, also from the Stitch Festival, this one's from Fabric Godmother, a viscose crepe. This one is going to get cut up very soon to be made into the next dressmaking Sew Over It pattern. So that will be made soon, but I'll share it in May probably with you. But I'm very excited about this one. And then we can move on to works in progress, I think. So I've got one sewing one and one knitting one. I thought it was quite a nice bit of everything to show you today. So this is also a gift for a friend of mine whose birthday it is very soon. Basically, I've had this bag in my head for this person in my mind for months, and I just hadn't got round to it. I sort of wanted to do it at Christmas, didn't get round to it. And now it's her birthday coming up, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna do it. And I just hadn't gathered all the things together. That's what was stopping me. So I have this Fabric Godmother denim, animal print. I love it. Ace, I think it was called. I made jeans in this and I wear them all the time. I love it. Love this denim. I had enough left to make something, not a garment necessarily, but I thought I could make a bag for this friend who loves leopard print. And so I checked and I could get the Sew Over It City Set sports bag out of it. So this the City Set bag collection from Sew Over It has 3 bags in it. It's a card wallet, a bum bag, which I've made so many times. I've made that bum bag for myself a few times, but as gifts, like a million times, and I will never stop. one of my aunts who lives in Costa Rica has already commissioned me another one so that I can bring it to her on my next trip this year, because she lost her previous one and she's devastated. She said it's the most useful bag she's ever owned, which honestly made me cry. It's lovely. So I'm going to be making another one of those. So the bum bag is my most made of those 3 bag patterns. I've made the card wallet once, and the sports bag I've made twice. I've made one for Pat and one for my mum. Still not one for myself, and this one is the 3rd one I make, and it's still a gift. I think because I've made the weekend bag, so every weekend bag, twice for myself, and that's my big bag that I use a lot. I've got one that I use a lot for work, and I've got one that I've used on one trip. That's the only trip I've been on this year, but it was perfect for a weekend away. So I've got that. That's the kind of bigger size bag that I use. I don't feel like I need a sports bag, but then maybe I want a sports bag. I don't do sports, so it won't be for that purpose. But anyway, at some point, maybe I'll make myself one. But for this one, as I said, wanted to make a leopard print one for this particular friend, because she's going to love that. So I had the leopard print fabric. I measured it up. I saw that I could fit the pattern in it, because it's less than a meter, but it's still a large piece. If I show you, this is the main body. Ooh, it's quite big. That's the main body, and then it's basically a cylindrical bag, so with 2 sides that are round, and then it's fully lined, and it's got straps, kind of handles, that's the word, handles, and then it also has a removable strap if you want to wear it crossbody. And so I had the denim. I had, luckily, this black webbing from making someone else's bag. Got a lot of bits from making people's bags. So I had the main components. I just had to figure out what zip to use, and I had to figure out what lining to use. And luckily, I had recently at the Stitch Festival bought some amazing zips. I'm so happy that I bought these funky zips from Purple Stitches at the Stitch Festival without a real plan of how to use them. But suddenly it occurred to me that this bag needs quite a long zip and with metal teeth, which I'm still not sure if this is metal. Might not be metal. It's described as metal teeth on their website, I think. And the puller is metal, but it doesn't feel like metal. Anyway, you need a long zip for this bag, so perfect. I put this really fun silver tape with multicolored teeth on the bag. I might put some pictures or a video up so you can see it, because the light isn't in my favor right now. But anyway, this is where we're at. I think it sort of clashes, but in a great way. And I know my friend will like it as well. So this is where we're at. I've got the outer body with the handles, and our pocket here, and our pocket on the other side as well. And I've just sewn some stitches in the middle of that because it's one continuous pocket. And I just wanted it to fit a bottle, like a water bottle. There you go. It's quite a handy position, handy depth of pocket. And this is how it's going to be. Ta-da-da. Oh, I'm thirsty. There it is. I love testing out pockets. Anyway, so that's the outside. That's basically done. Now I need to turn it into a cylinder, basically. But then I had to come up with something for the lining, and I wasn't sure what I had. I wanted a cotton, so something not too delicate to go on the inside. I had a look through Stash Hub, which I mention every time, but it's my favorite app that I use all the time to catalog everything I have. I don't have very good storage in this flat, and so my things are everywhere. Like, I've got bits of fabric in a bookshelf, I've got bits of fabric under my desk, I've got bits of fabrics under my bed. They're everywhere, so they're not visible all the time, which means I tend to forget what I have. And I had completely forgotten about this particular piece of fabric, which I bought a lot of to sort of toile something, and then I didn't want to use it for that, and I had loads of it and I'd forgotten all about it. And luckily I was browsing through Stash Hub. It's basically like shopping, but you're shopping your own stash, which is the best. And I found this hot pink marbled cotton, quilting cotton probably, yeah, So it's quite thick and sturdy, which is good for inside a bag. I think this is why I didn't end up using it for what I wanted to use it, because it was a bit too thick. But for this purpose, it's perfect. And I still have loads left, so there might be a lot of bags lined in this in the future, in my future. Anyway, I personally find leopard print and hot pink a very good combination. Is it too much? Maybe. But I love it, and I know my friend will love it. I just think that when you open the bag, you're going to unzip the bag, look at the inside, and bam! The pink is going to hit you. I just love that. A burst of color. And what I've done, that's the only thing that I've changed from the original pattern, is that I've also cut a pocket for the inside. So what you can do is do a welt pocket on the inside or on one side, which I love. I just knew I didn't have the bandwidth or the time to do that in time for this particular birthday. And so what I did is cut out the outer pocket twice in the main fabric. And with this one, it's slightly narrower because I just folded under the seam allowances, which on the outer are hidden by the handles, which is very handy. But on the inside, obviously, there's no handles. So I just turned under the edges. And I separated this pocket a little bit more. So to make shallower pockets, I thought my test was, does a phone fit in there? And yes, it does. So a phone, maybe a purse, that's where it ends up. So that's on both sides. And this will be like this inside the bag. Beautiful. So yes, I think that will be finished fairly soon. I want to finish that in time for my friend's birthday, which is very, very soon. So I need to get going. So that's it for sewing. But I do have a work in progress for knitting that I want to show you. I'm keeping it in my Grainline Studio field bag made in Fabric Godmother denim. If you want to hear more about this, watch my makes vlog, my last vlog, because I go into detail about this bag. But all I want to say today is how much I love it. I've been using it a lot because I did quite a bit of knitting in the last week, and it just makes me happy. It's so beautiful. I've not used it on the go yet, so just at home, but just having that in front of me on the table while I knit, beautiful. So what's in here is a pair of, well, only one for now. It's some socks. So for these socks, they've definitely advanced since the last time you saw them. I think I only had the cuff the last time you peeked into my field bag. So definitely some progress. Listen, I think this is my third pair of socks. My third sock project that I'm tackling. I made one that was very, very, very easy. I think a Wool and the Gang pattern, which came out okay. They're a bit big, so I don't wear them loads, but I do wear them with like boots. I love them because they're sparkly. They were super easy. Then I did one that was quite tricky, a West Yorkshire Spinners kit that I got given one Christmas. They were tricky because they have a pattern all along the front, and I was extremely proud of myself for doing them. But I don't think I'm a 3D pattern kind of gal when it comes to socks. As in, I don't love having things that on the surface. So this had some, not cables at all, but some things like that to add interest. And actually, I just want a plain sock, maybe with some difference in color, but not in texture. I hope that makes sense. And so for this pair, getting back into sock knitting, because I haven't done it in maybe 2 years at least, what I really wanted to do was a very, very plain sock with contrast details. So this main fabric is the lilac from leftover from a Stockholm slipover that I shared in my last vlog as well. And I had loads left, so I overbought that, which is great because it means I get to make socks, because it is finger in weight, perfect for socks, merino with a bit of nylon, perfect. And then for the contrast, for the cuff heel, we have a heel, and toe, it's a darker purple. That's a beautiful mini skein that I bought a pack of. There it is. Just showing quite blue. Interesting. So anyway, I am a little bit out of practice in making socks, so these are not coming out super well, but I'm using them as a, let's get back into it. Let's practice all the techniques. So I've got some ladder in here, and that's okay. I've got some issues with the ribbing. I really don't like this ribbing. It's similarly to the Stockholm slipover that I shared. I think I need to go tighter. I mean, I'm making all of this on these unicorn needles, 2.5, that are 2.5 circular needles with a long cable. So I'm doing the magic loop technique, which I enjoy. I can't even remember why I started doing that. But I think when I was making the last few pairs of socks, I researched different methods, and this just made sense to me. Oh, there's a hole there as well. Oh, lovely. Listen, lots of things that I can fix later on. Fix in post. But the pattern I'm using for this is the vanilla socks from the Crazy Sock Lady. I watched a lot of vlogs of knitters, and so many people mentioned that. And so I bought the pattern on Ravelry, but also there's some incredibly detailed tutorials. So there's one tutorial that's just for the vanilla sock. There's another one that's how to do the vanilla sock with contrast cuff, heel, and toe. So exactly what I was looking for. I mean, I'm so grateful to YouTube, honestly. Sometimes it's just like, exactly what I needed. So I'm following that. Something I love already is her tip to put stitch markers every 10 rows, so that you don't have to, if you lose count, if you haven't written everything down, you'll still be able to know where you're at. I love that. Also, it looks quite cute. Quite enjoy that. Anyway, there's lots of problems with it, but there's also lots of things that are going well. So I'm going to carry on. It might not be a super pair at the end, but it will be something I'll wear with pride, even just around the house, just because I managed to get socks done. My main issue, though, is the ribbing. I don't love it at all. It's the beginning. So this is a cuff down sock pattern. I think I should have gone much tighter. So maybe I need smaller needles, but I don't have any that are the same, with the longest cable and smaller. I don't think I have that. So I think I just need to have a higher tension when I do it. And I will try the twisted rib. So this is just a 1x1, one knit one, purl one ribbing. And I just don't love how it looks. And it's because of how I do it. I don't love how it looks. So I think I will try the twisted rib that many people suggested on my previous vlog when I was talking about the collar and the armholes of the Stockholm slipover. So I will give the twisted rib a go. What I'm wondering is, obviously I'll finish this sock and then I'll start the next one and do the twisted ribbing on the cuff for the next one, see if I like it better. If I do, can I replace this cuff? I feel like I could. So once I've done the second sock, if I start making more ribbing, like the same exact amount, could I then get rid of the one that's on here and reattach to the lilac with my new ribbing? Is that a thing? Am I making it up? Is it a disaster? Will everything unravel? I just have, because obviously what I could do is like pick up the stitches and start the ribbing again, but going up, and then my stitches will be upside down, I think, which might look weird. So I was thinking, can I make the ribbing and then attach it to the main sock at a later date at some point? Let me know, experienced knitters, because I have no idea. I'm just making it up as I go. But anyway, I am very excited about how it looks. I love the contrast. I love the fabric of the main sock, so not the ribbing. That's looking really nice and like solid. I love that. So I'm very happy with my tension there. I don't love my ladders, but that's something that I'll have to get over. And maybe there's ways that blocking maybe will make it look better, for example, I'm hoping. But anyway, I am enjoying the process. This isn't so much about the finished socks, although of course I will be excited to wear them, but this is a learning thing. I just want to carry on and do my best and get back into that rhythm of making socks, because I do really, really enjoy it. So anyway, happy with the progress on that one. I'll carry on and I'll update you at a later time, I'm sure, to let you know how I'm getting on. But do mention in the comments if you think there's a way of rescuing the ribbing or replacing the ribbing, because I have no idea. And I'd love it if the answer was yes. So bring me good news. So there we are. I think that's everything I've got to share with you today. A few bits and bobs, nothing huge, because as I said, I've got big work projects to be getting on with. But having these little things trickling on, like the knitting especially, and little gifts, it does keep my sojo going, and it doesn't make me feel like all I'm doing is sewing for work, which sometimes can get me a little bit down, because obviously it's my hobby, but it's also sort of my job. So it's a tricky line that sometimes could cross too far one way. But with these projects that I've got on the go, it's keeping my creative juices going, and I'm excited to get them done. And also I love sewing presents. I love giving presents that I have made myself. And the two people that I'm making for, so Pat and my friend with the bag, are both extremely graceful and grateful receivers of handmade gifts. So I think you learn as you start making gifts for people in your sewing journey. I think you figure out who's worth making for and who isn't. Like some people, everyone's of course delighted when they get something, but you can just tell who's gonna use the stuff that you make. And making takes time, so don't waste it on people who won't appreciate it. Is that a controversial opinion? I don't know, but I think locate the people that really love it when they get a handmade gift from you and make for them, because then it's great all round. And so I'm looking forward to making Pat's pants and my friend's bag. And I will update you. Hopefully I'll have pictures next time we meet for Make's vlog. I will hopefully have pictures of all of those things because they would have been gifted by then. So my plan for the next vlog is not firmed up yet. It might just be a chatty one. I'll see how the week takes me. And then maybe after that, there will be another Makes vlog. I'll see how much I've gotten done, how much I can share you. I have to time it with when things are coming out as well, because there are, the next two patterns from Sew Over It, I am extremely excited about. And one of them that's coming out the soonest is one that I designed. So I do little bits of design there. And the next one I was so proud of, and I've been wearing it a lot, and I just can't wait to tell you all about it. But of course I have to wait for the official launch. So for now. But anyway, I hope you have a very exciting weekend ahead. Lots of sewing, lots of making. Let me know what you're planning to work on this weekend, or whenever you're watching this. I find it fascinating, the idea that someone might be watching this way into the future, because I'm watching so many vlogs of especially knitters from years ago, and I really like it when they mention things. I'm like, wow, that's so long ago. But making is timeless. So TM. Making is timeless, so you can watch these things at any time, really. But it's just when real life and like news and things like that creep in that you suddenly remember that it might be something really old. But anyway, I digress, as I often do. I will go and get on with those projects that I've shown you today. In the meantime, keep the conversation going in the comments. I am loving how many of you are commenting. It's really fun to read. When you answer any of the questions that I've brought up in the vlog, it just warms my heart, because it makes me think. I was telling Pat the other day, I was like, oh my god, this person definitely watched till the end, because I only said that towards the end of the last vlog. It warms my heart so much. So if you enjoyed this vlog, please do give it a thumbs up. It means the world. Share this channel with your crafty friends, because I would love it if like-minded crafters could find the channel and enjoy it as well. Please subscribe to the channel if you fancy it. I am honestly amazed at how many of you have subscribed already. Really, really grateful for every single one of you. And the more people subscribe, the more other people will find the channel, so it all feeds itself. That's how this wonderful thing called YouTube works. And yeah, let me know in the comments what next on your sewing table or on your knitting table. And knitters, please let me know about the ribbing issue, because I am genuinely interested. I will do a deep dive on YouTube to find out the answer as well, but I'd love it if it came from one of you out there watching this. I'll be back with more very soon. In the meantime, keep making, keep chatting about making, and I'll see you next time. Bye.